Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday afternoon. It is crazy here for the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to be doing what we started the end of last year, which was a bitch session, because we were bitching about the Cowboys not signing anybody and how bad things were. And I think we need to call this return of the bitch session, because it's time to bitch about how bad the Dallas Cowboys are. And so as we know how we roll with this, we've got, of course, our panel in here. And I see there's Vado. What's up, Vado? How you doing today?
What's up?
Man, I thought you said F Tom Brady.
Yeah, I said it's already.
It didn't work. It did not work. I don't know what happened, man. That game literally hurt me down to my soul. And I see Thomas Garrett's also in here. What's up, Thomas? You don't have your camera on. Stacy Schubert's in here. What's up, Stacy? I don't think you got your camera on either. And
How you doing? I
don't
cut
know,
the grass
Stacy.
part. I cut the front and the backyard, and I'm kind of messy. So
Oh, okay. Well, you can come on by and cut mine, because mine needs to be cut too. And I've
okay.
been running around trying to get stuff for food for tomorrow and everything else, and get that squared away, and haven't had a chance to
Yeah.
cut the grass.
Yeah, I haven't had time to clean up before I got on your live. So
It's all good, Stacy. It's all good. We know you're
More,
beautiful no matter what. And then we
thank
have Brother Roz in here with the angry cat face. Brother Roz, what's up, man?
you
hello.
Roz, you're muted. Unmute your mic, Roz.
Hey,
All right.
yeah, I'm on the road, so I just figured I'd jump in and hang with you.
Okay. Well, you kept sending me a lot of different information, because you've sent me like Will Greer with exclamation points. It's like, yeah, well, he's the only other quarterback on the roster, so he'd have to be the backup, unless they're going to make Micah Parsons the backup quarterback, which might not be any worse,
Uh,
right? Okay.
Yeah.
He might be in a bad zone.
Yeah, I think y'all gonna live and die by Cooper's arm.
Oh, yeah, because, of course, Kellen Moore will still pretend that Dak Prescott's out there. He doesn't
right.
he cannot stand the run.
Mark, why did we not run the ball?
I'm sorry, Vado, I didn't get that one.
Why did we not run the ball?
I don't know why he refuses to run the football. To me, last week was the perfect situation to run the football with a young offensive line, with your receivers being so young, and he still chucked the ball 70% of the time. 42
Yeah.
passes, 18 rushes. It just made no sense whatsoever to me, and Kellen Moore is going to be the death of me. Literally, he's going to be the death of me. What's happening? Joanne Gonzalez, how you doing this evening? Let's see all the other ladies that are up in here. Tammy, what's up, Tammy? How are you doing? And
Mark,
yeah,
by the way, Mark, I'm
yeah.
back home in Texas.
By the way, what?
I'm back home in Texas.
Oh, you're back home in Texas. Oh, cool. All right, so that's good. If you're gonna be there a while, hopefully, I'm gonna watch the season and see how it unfolds, and try and figure out which game to come on down for in Texas. I'm still looking at going to the Tennessee game late in the season. Hopefully, we'll still be in it, and it's going to be interesting, to say the least, how we go from here.
I flew.
Hopefully,
I flew over on Friday.
all right.
Saturday.
All right, we've got Primetime Phil and Game Time
What's
Brian
up, Brian?
joining.
Brian,
Well, we'll definitely try. When I get down to Texas, we're definitely gonna. If you're back in Texas, we're definitely gonna try and see if we can stop by and see you, or go to a game together.
alright, sound good. You got my number, so you got to reach me.
Eric E. Early says, "Why do the Cowboys throw all that money towards Prescott instead of investing in a team's needs. Well, Eric, I'm going to actually say that, right now you can look at the Rams, you can look at Cincinnati, you can look at Green Bay, you can look at the Ravens, they tried. You can look at the Cardinals. You can look at all these teams that have had to go through and invest in a quarterback. But, Eric, let me – because people are always saying, well, if it's Dak Prescott's fault that they don't have players around him. Understand that the first 3 years that Dak Prescott was a Dallas Cowboy quarterback, he made less than $1 million a year. The fourth year, he only made $2 million. So why didn't the Cowboys invest in players to put around Dak Prescott those 4 years while he was dirt cheap? So don't put it on it's Dak Prescott's fault of them not spending money. It's not Dak Prescott's fault. And I'm sick and tired of people saying it is.
And bad decisions.
Yeah. Who's talking?
I just wanted to jump in on that one. And anytime that conversation comes up from now on, okay, you just point them to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm in a lot of pain right now because of what they did to us in Green Bay. But Minnesota paying all that money to Kirk Cousins. They have Justin Jefferson finish up a rookie deal.
Yeah.
They paid Dalvin Cook. They built defensive players and paid them smartly. It has nothing to do with what the quarterback got.
Right.
No.
It's actually the mistakes that the Cowboys made. Because if you're sitting there looking at Dak Prescott, how about you look at what you spent on Jalen Smith? How about you look at what you spent on Zeke Elliott and then refuse to run him?
Yeah.
Okay? Right? How about we look at some of those contracts there that they screwed up as opposed to what Dax is? How about we look at how much money we took in dead money for Jalen Smith, for Amari Cooper, for Lyle Collins?
Mark.
Yeah.
And and you're absolutely right. They keep making mistakes, and then instead of as you say, they need to man up. They're not going to do that because they have egg on their face. So they keep making these lame excuses when you and me, again, we're not general managers, in the NFL, and we can see it just like night and day. They're the problem.
Right.
And making excuses, and I'm sick of it.
How about the Eagles last year paid $36 million for Carson Wentz not to be on the roster? But that didn't prevent them from going out and getting other players. Now, did it?
No.
It did not. And I'm sick and tired of, Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones trying to say it's the quarterback. That's more of the bullshit that they keep feeding us about, and basically trying to make Dak Prescott the bad guy. And of course, all the talking shows will, go through that same narrative. Well, you paid him $40 million. Yeah, but 4 years before that, he was less than $2 million every single year, but they did nothing. So that's not an argument.
Mark. Steve, what they're trying to. They're trying
Hold on,
to. They paid. Yeah, you paid someone $40 million, and then you took away the talent that he did have. You took away. So it's like you're setting him and Mike McCarthy up for failure. I'm sorry, but that's what it appears to be.
Yeah. I mean, it really is, because
right.
you gave Amari Cooper a $100 million deal. You gave D-Law a $100 million deal, and it's only the quarterback, and not to mention Zeke Elliott's contract, that you literally blew the running back contracts out the water.
Right.
You waited so long to get Prescott.
Yeah.
You could have given a little bit more than we waited so long.
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
Beto. And like you said, Mark, I don't know how you feel about this, Mark, but do you feel deep down inside it's like they're holding that against Prescott?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like the analogy I used was one that my high school wrestling coach had, where it was like a young guy and this old lady were fighting out for a parking space, and he zips in real quick, right? And he said, "That's what you get when you're young and quick."
Yeah, they got no wide receiver.
And then they go, and then she decided to take her Mercedes and slam into his car, and she said, "That's what you get when you're old and rich, because I don't give a rat's ass, basically." and I feel like that's Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones, because they basically said, hey, he forced our hand, and he got the best of us. Why, if he would fire Jimmy Johnson for his ego, okay, back-to-back Super Bowls, you don't think that they would go ahead and set Dak up? You don't think that would happen? It's not like
Could they
it's going to
trade?
Yeah.
Did they trade?
Could they trade for Kadarius Toney?
Could they? They won't trade for anybody.
We like our guys.
That's exactly what we like, our guys. And here's where they've gotten high on the idea that we're great at drafting, that we can fix it in the draft. And so we got sold that Jalen Tolbert's going to be able to make up for the production of either Cedric Wilson or Amari Cooper, and he's not even able to be active. We got John Ridgway that you're actually cutting and hoping that you can put him back on the practice squad. He's not going to be a factor. Sam Williams is only being active now because Basham got hurt. So as far as what's going on with your rookie class, you got one guy that you drafted that's actually a starter. And you let go Lyle Collins, Cedric Wilson, Connor Williams, Amari Cooper on your offense. And you also lost, of course, Dalton Schultz, too. And so at the moment,
I thought Lyle Collins was playing this weekend.
Smart ass. Yes, he is playing this weekend, just not for the Cowboys, Roz. Roz, sometimes you're a piece of shit.
Why would you give it on my Cooper and get Khalil and give it number one?
What'd you say, Beto?
Why would you give it on my Cooper?
Get rid of Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And he clearly was our number one, yes.
And took us right back to where we were in 2018. So we're not moving forward. We're continually moving backwards. And we, the fans, suffer for their bumbling and stumbling.
But, here's the thing, though. It never hurts the Cowboys' bottom line.
Right. And that's why.
You've got First Take there the day after Tyron Smith, messes up his knee. And everybody knew it wasn't if, it was just when is Tyron Smith going to go. Tyron Smith had become Tony Romo, where Tony Romo was like, every play you look and see, did he get up? Yeah. And we all knew this, and they still, we got Tyler Smith, he's going to be the backup. But you changed him at guard.
Stuck on stupid, Mark.
And so now you've got an undrafted rookie free agent who's starting at guard. Your offensive line coach sucks.
Yep, he's got to go.
All these penalties, we had 10 penalties, all on the offense, mostly on the offensive line. Offsides and holding.
Mark.
Yeah?
I would like for you to make a comparison, because I know you do things like that, on the offensive line penalties we had with Colombo versus where we are now, since we've had Mike's buddy as the O-line coach.
Yeah, there you go. I can do that. That'll take some time to do that, but because you'll get how many penalties per game. You'll have to go through each individual game of those and break them down. But yeah, of the players. But yeah, that would not be an easy one. But I don't know that I've ever seen so many on our offensive line. Yeah.
Hey, when I get back from working on this computer for the church, I will dive into those stats on the penalties.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. See, this is where you get an analyst here, because he is truly the numbers guy.
Good.
Now, of course, breaking up is hard to do. And when you break up, ladies, before you guys broke up, he was that's my man, right? And then I just love my boo. Oh, he is so nice and sweet. We going away for the weekend. But when you break up,
Scumbag.
That's right. Man, look, he was only this big. He never did satisfy me, right? I mean, right? Huh?
What no short man.
Right. But girl, I was just wasting some time till Mr. Right came along. He didn't mean nothing to me. So you're gonna trash your ex. So with Lyle Collins going through and basically trashing, our offensive line coach. Although I have to look at this and say the same problem we've had each of these years are the offensive line has not been good. You can't look at guys that are getting better, and we still have all of the same penalty situation. I have to go back and look at 2020 and see how bad it was. There were so many things that were wrong. I can't remember if penalties were one of them or not, but they probably were. So this now falls on Phoeben.
Right.
To understand that, listen, guys, we can't have 10 penalties, on the offense. Just can't.
Our weekend kept us in the game. Our offense let us down.
Shout out to Tammy. How are you doing, Tammy? Tammy, Dak would thrive with any other offense, any other team. I agree with you, Tammy. And at some point, I hate to say this for Dak.
Yes.
I almost wish that he went to another team for him. I love Dak. I want him to win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. But if this is what we're going to do for Dak for the rest of his career,
right?
I hope he gets the Matthew Stafford treatment and gets to go someplace else to have a chance, where they actually say, let's go out and get an Odell Beckham. I know we've got some good receivers and things, but let's go out and get him another weapon here, okay? Let's go out and get some offensive linemen to make sure that he's protected. This stuff now, what's up, Lola? How you doing, Lola? That we're doing now, you can't honestly look at this and say, yeah, the Cowboys built a team to try and win. Now, they may get lucky because of how bad our division may be, that we get competitive in some games, which, all of a sudden, if we go, say, 2-4 while Dak is gone, and then we end up going, 7-4 the rest of the way, we'll all of a sudden forget about all of the things that got us here to begin with. But between Kellen Moore and his play calling, we've all tried to say, last year we were the number one offense. It may have been more in spite of him. To me, it's criminal to not run Zeke Elliott more than 10 times, and you're paying him $17 million a year.
Yep.
He made me sick to my stomach.
He makes all of us sick to our stomach right now. I mean, literally, we throwing up our Italian sub, Vito. We throwing it up, man. It's like we ate some bad wings or something and making us sick, man. When you eat them bad wings, it's like, oh, Lordy, fire in the hole. Between Kellen Moore and then, Mike McCarthy, who doesn't, even divulge or understand the playbook whatsoever, it's like, what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah. I mean, how you just going to choose one person when there are a whole plethora of factors that are adding to our problems?
No, you can blame one person. Jerry Jones. You can blame Jerry Jones for hiring Mike McCarthy and then hamstringing him with Kellen Moore. Okay? You can hamstring Jerry Jones for not paying Dak Prescott instead of franchise tagging him that first year. Had he paid him that year, he could have got him for $28 million. You can blame Jerry Jones because they were the one that deconstructed this offense, getting rid of these guys. And I'm not going to say getting rid of them was not the right move, but then turning around and not replacing them and figuring that, we can just take some rookie free agents and we can make them starters and we're going to be just as good.
I agree.
And this is where you start to wonder, is Jerry trying to pull the wool over our eyes, or does he really believe this shit?
He may have the nose.
He may be getting dementia because, when I heard this morning him say that, see how bad it is? I actually flashed back to Brandon Wheaton. But that's immediately what I thought when he said, Cooper Rush can do what Dak Prescott does. And it was like, you remember when he said, Brandon Wheaton throws the prettiest ball I've ever seen. And you had Troy Aikman look like, what the fuck?
Are you for real?
What's happening, Alicia? How you doing today?
Are
So
you
you
for
start
real?
listening to this, and he's got to try and sell the team so people will keep coming and selling hope. But he is truly, he's truly just bad.
He really blame.
Like I told you, until we do right by Jimmy Johnson, we're going to keep going through this drama.
Yeah.
You can't do wrong and release wrong into the universe and expect good things.
You're
and until
right.
the ship, we're going to keep on being frustrated and miserable by their bumbling and stumbling. He's got to put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor.
Well,
He has to do it.
and see, this is what kills me too, because I'm looking at James Lawson and Larson. I'm not going to put you. I mean, we need to put you on blast and stuff, but you could bring in Justin Huber tomorrow, and it's not going to make a difference with the team that we got out there right now.
No.
Right.
It's not. You got receivers who can't get open. This whole thing, I would agree with you if it was, receivers are wide open and the quarterback was missing them left and right. If the running back was running for 100 yards and everything was clicking and stuff, and the quarterback was, fumbling and literally just tripping over himself, I would say, yeah, we do need another quarterback. But it doesn't matter. We've been through this stuff with Tony Romo. Tony Romo was a good quarterback, but you'd end up not having the people that you need there. You honestly had, and it just gets to be frustrating trying to discuss this with people that automatically think it's just the quarterback. All we need to do is just get another quarterback when you got 10 penalties on the offensive line.
We don't never prepare for anything. We just wait for the game and hope we are prepared.
Yeah.
And that's not how a football team. You can do that in college, but this is
Right. You can't do that. And I'm sitting here looking at, they recognize for the Eagles, we need some better receivers. So they go out and they get A.J. Brown, right? They're still out there scavenging, trying to find some other pieces to go along with them. You look at Tampa Bay, here it is. Let's get Tyreek Hill. Let's get Cedric Wilson. Let's get some pieces around it. Look at the Raiders. They say, let's go out and get the best receiver in Devontae Adams. And we look at Dak and say, oh, you're a failure because you can't take, guys that have never got a touchdown in their life and win with that. You suck because, you can't overcome the offensive line being messed up. It's Dak's fault. Man, get out of here. Delusional Dak fan, kiss my ass, okay?
Right.
And then we give away more people.
Curtis Allen, I tell you what. Well, Curtis, you looking at the film. How about Pro Football Focus had out of 87 receivers, CeeDee Lamb in separation. That means space getting away from people. He was 67th. 67th.
Yeah.
The highest one we had was actually Semi, I think, which was 23 or 26. So if you go 3 deep on wide receivers, basically that's what it is. CeeDee Lamb was not open. And you can't, you can say, oh, well, Dak missed him. Yeah, he probably did. He probably did miss some receivers between running for his life and receivers not being there and not having worked together with this group as a group. Yeah. But you make it sound like Dak was the only one. And how about CeeDee Lamb having 4 catches in his hands that he dropped?
Yep. He's succumbed to too much pressure.
Right? I mean, I'm just saying. How about us doing a double reverse that loses 8 yards or a wildcat that loses 2?
Yep.
That goes back to the play calling. It's all of the above when it comes to this offense. From Kellen Moore calling a shitty game plan that everybody knows, as Devin White pointed out, we knew you weren't going to run the football. We just followed the film from last year.
That's terrible.
But you know what? But again, you know what? I'm going to start agreeing with some of these fans out here. Yeah, trade Dak. Get what you can get for him. Let the guy get out of here while he's still in one piece. And then we can go through purgatory like the Washington Commanders, letting Kirk Cousins go, and have had 9 different starting quarterbacks in that time that Kirk Cousins was gone. Kirk Cousins had like 122 touchdown passes to the 68 that the stiffs that they had. No problem. We can go back through the days of Quincy Carters and the Drew Bledsoes and the Chad Hutchinsons and all that. We can go through all that because, see, you guys don't actually appreciate the fact that you actually have a decent quarterback, but don't understand that the team is not doing anything to help him out.
I do.
No.
I understand.
Sour grapes. They're trying to say, yeah, and they're still probably, them being billionaires, Mark, you know, deep down, you know, they're like, he got the best of us. I'll show you. You know, I mean,
yeah.
They're, you know.
You can't, I mean, what is our biggest sign, you know, after losing Cedric Wilson, after losing Amari Cooper, Connor Williams, and Lyle Collins? What's the biggest piece that we've added on offense? I mean, you know, it's Tyler Smith, our draft pick, but free agency, Turpin, James Washington, who can't stay on the field.
Nope.
Right? Other than that, what have we done? And you drafted Jalen Tolbert, and he hasn't even been active yet.
I can go play.
So you did nothing.
No.
You took 4 guys out, right? And then you had Tyler Smith get hurt on top of it. And you only got 1 guy in.
You hear me, Mark? I can go play better than Kevin Moore, and I'm disabled, but I know more football than the average person.
Well, see, yeah. Well, Curtis Allen, you're right at the way that they're going about this. By the time we get all the players Dak needs, his contract will be up. They need to draft a quarterback and fire all the coaches. You're right, because here's the thing is the Joneses believe that they can fix the whole team in a draft. But if you look at a draft, if you get 1 impact player in the draft, you're good. I mean, that's fantastic. If you can get a second starter in the draft, you're great. If you can get a special team standout and a role player, that is a great draft. But we looked and we said, we need a tackle to back up Tyron Smith. We need a guard to replace Connor Williams. We're going to need a number 1 receiver to replace Amari Cooper, right? And we're also going to need another receiver to at least hold us until Michael Gallup gets back and to replace Cedric Wilson. So you needed 4 players. Right now you got 1. You got 1, and that's it, to try and fill it.
You can't have a Michael Parsons in every draft and think we're going to be all right.
And see, here's where, you know, I love how people say, no more excuses for Dak. If any time, this is when you look and say, there's excuses because you got a shitty play caller and you don't have any talent out there as far as wide receivers. And your offensive line is crap. I don't understand where people say, Dak's got no excuses.
You see, Sam said, how about last year? Dak had a great wide receiving core last year. So what did he do? That's from Sam in the chat.
Sam? Well, we went 12-5.
Yeah.
And then our offensive line got hurt. And then we also lost Michael Gallup for 8 games.
Yeah.
Right? We lost Tyron Smith for 5 games. We ended up doing the Super Bowl shuffle on the offensive line where we just kept trying a different offensive line every single time. But here's the thing. Well, look, how about this? What did Aaron Rodgers do last year with great wide receiver core? He had the best wide receiver in football in Devontae Adams. What did they do? They lost to the same team in the playoffs that we did, 49ers, having an extra week of rest.
They lost one weekend.
The Cowboys season's over. Just accept that and get ready for 2023. Don, you're able to see the Cowboy games here on TV. You can't do everything, and Darlene is so right. You can't, and that's the problem. You can't do everything in the draft to fix your team.
Yeah.
They found some
exactly.
good free agents in bottom tier looking, but sometimes you got to say, you know what, I need to get a stud. I need to get a real receiver. I need to get a real edge rusher. And they had guys that wanted to come, like, say, Von Miller, who would have been happy to come. You've had some receivers out there that said, hey, I wouldn't mind going to Dallas and playing in there.
Yeah.
But, of course, they're like, oh, no, we're not going to spend a whole bunch of money in free agency. We believe in our own guys because we know what we got with them.
Yeah, we our own guys for the past 27 years. Where have your own guys taken you?
Nowhere but at home.
Right, Beto, right at home. You right, Beto.
Well, I tell you what, Dak delusional fans, I tell you what, you got yourself right now a glorified backup because Jerry Jones says he can do anything that Dak can do. So we'll see how great he does right there. Because I'm sitting here looking, because you're like, oh, he needs players around him. Then how come other teams are going around trying to get players around their quarterback? If the quarterback's so great, then why are they trying to get players around him? And we just saw how Aaron Rodgers played last week without Devontae Adams. And he was the MVP, right?
Right.
Evidently, you do need to have some players out there to catch the damn ball.
Yep.
That's it, because I called Amari Cooper, a.k.a. I call him the ankle breaker, because he would leave you on the turf, and he was gone.
I now have a newfound appreciation for Amari Cooper. I just didn't realize it. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong.
Amari Cooper was the best game.
Alicia Morgan, you're 100% right. It's the same song and dance every year with this organization.
Amari Cooper was the best game since the fire.
Yeah.
And we picked it all away because we got picked up because he didn't get a cover cut.
Right.
And it's about football. What can you do for me on the football field? I go get what you do. Just win me the game.
Right.
I think Lamb, MG, Schultz, Washington will be just enough. It might be. What the only hope that we really have is that the Cooper Rush gets fortunate enough that Kellen Moore ends up trying to run the football. Try and run the football, put it in the defense's hands to hopefully make some plays to get us through, and that we can squeeze out and get a couple of games. And maybe by the time Dak gets back, that we've got Gallup, maybe we got Washington, maybe Jason Peters is healthy and can get on the line, and we can kind of go on a run from there as we play some of the less teams.
How long will it be out?
Fred, have I ever heard about Clickbait Sports? No, I've not heard that one before. Trade a 2 for Tyler Lockett. They're not going to – Seattle's not going to trade Tyler Lockett for a second. Certainly not to the Cowboys. Heck, the Seattle Seahawks are feeling pretty good after getting that big win against Denver right now. They all of a sudden feel like we ain't out of shit.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that might be a team. That might actually be a team that ends up getting rid of their quarterback and getting a bunch of other guys, getting rid of a bunch of other guys, cleaning some things up that may actually be better as opposed to us. Fabian, what's going on? How are you doing?
Mark,
yeah.
How is that out for?
When your team is run by a circus clown, then teams going to play like clowns. Ooh. I have to agree with you on that one. Run the ball 20-plus times. Zeke should run the ball 20-plus by himself.
Right.
We actually had 18 run plays. 10 were Zeke, 6 were Tony Pollard, and 2 were Dak's.
That was not enough. We could at least we'll go back to the game again.
Yeah.
Rush we trust with Dak. It's discussed. Okay.
What the
Cooper
hell?
Rush got this. Okay.
What the hell? I'm just going quick. Cooper is not the answer.
Yeah.
Getting rid of Amari Cooper for a fifth was one of the most idiotic things this front office has ever done. You kind of have to look at it like that. You really have to look at that they truly screwed up. Arthur making the Joneses need a checkup from the neck up for letting Cooper go. Dallas obviously gearing up for a tank season. Give Zeke 50 carries.
Oh, it can be. That's what it's got to be. You can't be trying to win a Super Bowl with the product that we put on the field as of last Sunday. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
The only saving grace is our defense.
Uh-huh.
Our defense is the only saving grace.
Yeah.
Lola, remember the last time Dak was out at Washington, what Washington did? Laughing my ass off. I'm here in Chat Sports. You're in Chat Sports. Where's Brian? I see Brian's mailbox and stuff there. He's not there. Okay. I see Primetime's in the chat. I don't feel any Super Bowl with this team right now. I'll be honest with you. The Joneses don't deserve to win a Super Bowl. If they were to somehow win one, oh my God. That is the least person that deserves to win a Super Bowl right now.
We are way off from the Super Bowl.
San Francisco got physical with them and tossed. Tampa Bay got physical with them and they lost. The playbook is out. Until the Jones give up control to a real GM, it's going to be a bargain basement shopping with Steven.
Right.
That's actually the scary thing is Jerry, who doesn't seem to take chances anymore. Stephen Jones says, when Jerry's gone, we'll probably take less chances. You ain't taking any chances now. What chances are you taking?
No.
I actually, you know what? I'm going to sound crazy, but I actually think that the defense has a chance to get us a win tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that may just be the homer in me saying that, but I think it's going to be another ugly game. They're having a hard time protecting Joe Burrow. 7 sacks, 5 turnovers. If it ends up being that you can do something like that, then maybe we'll be okay. I could look. People look and say, "Oh, this is going to be just like the 2020 season." The thing I will say that's different about the 2020 season was our defense was terrible. We had one of the worst defenses in football. And then once Dak went down, we had one of the worst offenses. So the two of those, it was just bad. But I think our defense may be able to keep games close. And if our offense can just do a little.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How many yards for Chase? 150, 200? I'm going to say 85. I'm going to say we hold him down. I like how McCarthy called out Kellen publicly, light a fire under his R's. Well, I'm kind of surprised that Mike McCarthy is just kind of, he's just kind of rolling over and dying because he's going to be, for the Joneses, they're not going to take responsibility for the mistakes.
No.
They're going to blame, we need a new coach, Mike McCarthy. He's not there, or and Lord help us if they elevate Kellen Moore.
Billionaires never take responsibility for anything. Billionaires never do.
We better play that Kellen Moore gets the hell out of here.
You're worried about Jamar Chase for sure? Ain't holding Chase down 2 weeks in a row. You never know. You never know. It is the sophomore slump. There is that thing called a sophomore slump. Yeah, and that's where he did call out. Basically he said, yeah, he's really good, but he does have a few things lacking, basically. So I'm hoping that talk motivates Diggs and Diggs shuts him down.
That would be nice.
Yep. and a pickle open to the house.
Yeah.
If Moore blows it in this game, McCarthy needs to take over play calling duties. Also, Mark, I don't know if you got my last post, but I got my signed shirt. Okay, cool. All right, Cowboys up family talk, football talk. Send me a picture of him. If Chase is tied up, there's always Higgins or Boyd. Oh, you mean that he has multiple weapons to go to?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a novel idea.
How convenient is that? How convenient is that?
Derek says, I'm not a bandwagon fan, but if they put Kellen Moore in as head coach, I would be done. Wow.
Moore needs to go high school.
If Burrow is on the turf all day because Parsons, Chase aren't catching many balls. I hope so. Diggs did pretty good against Mike Evans last week. He didn't get actually spanked out there.
Kellen Moore needs to go to the high school level.
Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, over $300 million worth of contracts there with 3 playoff wins. Well, it happens. Pat Thompson, get your bags ready. I could say Kirk Cousins has got $200 million and he's got 1 playoff win. How about that one? I'm just saying. Kirk Cousins has made over $200 million and he got 1 playoff win. How about that one? I really truly believe we are slumping for high draft picks and draft capital for Sean Payton. The problem with that is, though, Cole, to get Sean Payton, your draft capital, you're going to lose. New Orleans still has his rights next year. So, you think about John Gruden getting 2 number 1s to go to Tampa, that's got to be the going rate. So,
Mark, I think it's going to be Dan Quinn. I don't think Sean Payton is going to. I think it's Dan Quinn. I do.
That would make more sense from that standpoint, but you still need another offensive coordinator. Unless, of course, the Cowboys say, Dan Quinn, you're the head coach, but we're going to keep Kellen Moore, which would be...
oh, my God.
Oh.
Thank you, Beto. Oh, my God. Exactly. Beto. Oh, my God. Right on, 100%. God. Yeah, that would be terrible.
Oh, my God. If they do that, I might have to call Gary Gold myself.
Yeah.
What's up, Jessica? Long time no see. Jessica, how are you doing? Trade Dak sleep number for a legitimate number 2 receiver. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Cole's Cowboys says Dan Quinn doesn't need to be the head coach. I would say this much about Dan Quinn being the head coach. I believe they believe in Dan Quinn more than they believe Mike McCarthy. Yeah. And they leave Dan Quinn alone to do what he wants to do.
Exactly.
Without a doubt. They do that one. They respect him more than they respect Mike McCarthy.
Yes, they do. Exactly.
Cowboy Brian, it's the penalties that kill us. Yes, the penalties aren't helping us. Until this stops, our offense will struggle. Shout out to my main man there. I didn't bring my gong out here.
Brian, where you at? Brian?
Did you find out who gave you the gong?
Yes. Oh, my God. They sent me a message on Facebook.
What's up, man? I didn't.
Hey.
You guys were on a roll. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, listen to Veda say, oh, my God, if Kellen Moore became the head coach was about the funniest thing we've heard all day.
Oh, my God.
Actually, I did find out because he actually...
Eagles.
The same guy sent me the name tags. Actually, let me look back up on Facebook because he sent me a Facebook message.
Fuck Burrow.
Veda, you gotta stop cussing everybody out, man.
Sorry.
Rory David sent it to me.
No.
It's Rory David who sent. Shout out to Rory David for sending me the
That's
gong.
Cool.
I love that piece.
You just got stuff showing up at your door.
Well, you're
the man. What can I say?
I don't know about that. The mailman usually delivers and stuff for us. But
Yeah.
how are you feeling about this game, Brian?
Not great. I'd be lying if I said I felt great about it, but I just want to score an offensive touchdown. Let's do that.
Come on, man. You
first.
got high goals now.
Come on, let's get an offensive touchdown and
But wait a
it's gonna
minute,
be
Brian.
it-
Jerry Jones said that, Cooper
Yeah.
Rush, he can do everything Dak can do. We're
I
told
think
he
it's gonna
knows
be
the
closer than
play. He
people
knows
think.
the plays.
Yeah, I know. I think it'll be closer than people think. I think our defense can get to Burrow, or I would hope that Quinn would have an aggressive game plan.
Yeah.
We can't do what we did last week and say, okay, guys, let's beat your guy, throw in occasional stunt or twist. No, we need to do aggressive early and make him beat you. Just man up on your guys and make the play. You got to. I think you need something good early to happen.
Definitely. Definitely.
So
The trade deadline's about middle of October, so like week 7, I think, is somewhere around there.
yeah.
Hey, Brian,
What's up, Vada?
we need a fumble or a pick six.
A pick six, or I agree. We need a fumble or a pick six. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk with Jamar Chase. Diggs
Jamar
is
Chase
on-
and Lyle Collins talking.
Yeah, well, Lyle needs to just shut his mouth. If anybody watched the game last week, it wasn't pretty. So I don't know if he went to Cincinnati to hang with his buddies, but as far as play on the field, he almost got Joe Burrow killed at least once.
Yeah.
So, it's good. Have your reunion. It's just as long as your quarterback's on the ground, that's all that really matters. But Diggs. I think Diggs is a big test for him, and everybody's watching. All eyes are watching. So what are you going to do? You want that big contract? You better limit this guy. No, listen, you can't stop a guy like Chase. You can't. It's not going to happen. But you can limit him, and you can make a play on the ball, like Votto said, maybe a pick six, or just that's what needs to happen. They need to be aggressive. They can't sit back and wait because they're going to be down too fast and too much, and then this Dallas offense is not going to be able to come back.
More the reason to run the
scores.
More the reason to run the football.
Yeah,
too.
that's why I said be aggressive on defense. You run the football. If you get a lead, then you could take your shots. But I mean, even then, you want to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball.
Eddie F., you never heard us mention Johnny Manziel.
What the hell? We still talking about Manziel?
Seriously? Johnny Manziel?
We still talking about Manziel?
Yeah, if it was up to Jerry Jones, we would have had Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
So just remember that. He would have been here and gone already, but we would have had him.
Yeah. Well, it's gotten to the point where I just don't even want to hear anything from Jerry. Because every time
it's embarrassing.
Everything is just more and more outlandish. And it's like, I understand you're trying to sell the team, but you can't honestly believe the shit that you're selling now.
And Steven, it was.
Yeah, that's right, Beto.
Steven makes me want to call up every day he talks.
Even make you want to go off.
Yeah.
Probably throw up.
I feel you. I do.
Because
What happened to the first guy? Did he realize that the Cowboys stink? Signed Brett Favre out of retirement. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jerry wants to take calls. Or Paxton Lynch. Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
They wanted Paxton Lynch, and then they want Connor Cook. You can get either of those two guys right now. Cam Newton sucks now. He should just really sell the team. But Sky High, why would he sell the team? Why would he sell it? It's the most valuable one, making more money than any of the rest of them. Why would you sell something that's making you a boatload of money? He's not going to sell it. He literally said, I understand the fans out there, they're frustrated and stuff. But those same fans out there that know that they're frustrated, they know that I'm not going to sell the team. Okay. So basically, what you're saying is I don't give a rat's ass what you think. I
Right.
ain't selling it. I'm gonna do this my way.
Yep. Hey, Mark,
Yes, sir.
why go get have someone like McCorvin in the for office or in the for office or somebody like that who actually knows how to run a football team?
I didn't get all that one, Vader. I'm sorry.
Why don't we have someone like McCorvin to run the Cowboys? Why don't we have McCorvin run the Cowboys?
Oh, okay.
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. Yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Irvin wants to. I don't know what Michael Irvin wants. I know Dez wants to come back and try and, basically teach CeeDee how to man the F up and get some attitude and get open. I wouldn't mind that happening.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see McCorvin in the front office.
I'd like to put a foot in the front office ass too, Beto.
Yep.
Yeah, because I could run the Cowboys better than
Spock, can you save us? He doesn't need to sell the team. He just needs to no longer be the GM of the team. And just what they need him to be is hands off. I agree on that one. I am just so sick of hearing, Stephen Jones talking about, where we are with the players and, well, Jalen Tolbert, we asked him to do a lot. You know what? I don't want to hear from you guys. I really don't want to hear from from you guys. Let me hear from the coach. Let me hear from the player. I'm sick and tired of hearing Jerry Jones and his, hey, it's like the fly on a hare's back and this shit, and back. Jerry, just shut up. I'm sorry. Just shut up. I don't want to hear any more of your analogies that mean nothing anymore. Listen. You screwed the pooch on the season. That's what I want to hear you say. We screwed. Just admit it. I'd be okay if you just said, you know what? We made some mistakes here. We are sorry. We screwed up. Okay. And unfortunately, the product we're putting on the field sucks, and I'm the one to blame. Okay. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear this, Dak's going to be back in 3 weeks, so you can point the fingers at him, so we can have all the assholes that are in here right now saying, trade Dak, after you literally got him killed and you don't get anybody there to help him. Oh, well, he needs people around him. Well, apparently, a lot of teams need players around him. That's why people are trying to sign some.
Right.
yeah. And
Some
then
bullshit.
we could last minute to do everything. We could have had what's his name already in at the start of the season, but we waited till this time.
For all the ones that are saying trade Dak, please tell me what you're trading for. Please tell me how your trade is going to fix the team. That's all I want to know. What are you trading Dak for? Because, Denver traded to get Russell Wilson, right?
It's just a stupid narrative.
It's just
And go tell me you traded him for Jimmy G.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy G is an asshole just like the rest of me.
If you want to lose, then you trade the quarterback. When you're on one, you keep them. Okay. Jessica, did I see the guy on YouTube trashing Dak and talking about him getting paid? Y'all, I told him off, and I might have he might have banned me from his channel, but I don't like the way he bashes up. Unfortunately, when you're in the public eye, you're going to get it. It doesn't matter what you do. And there's always going to be people that are going to go through and try. I mean, you've got all the talking heads out there basically trashing him. So, it is what it is, and he's probably laughing all the way to the bank. Teddy Bridgewater, Rashid. Okay, all right.
I just don't like the way we handle backup quarterback. We don't ever have a backup plan. It's a get on over again.
Real vibe. Hey, Mark, you would think that Dallas would have learned what it was like not having a number one receiver after trading for one. What's my take on that? Apparently, they've got dementia and have forgot all that stuff. Apparently. I have no words. When Stephen Jones says, we spend all the money and we're going to roll it over into next year, here's what's crazy. I want you to understand that these are lies that they're telling you. They're like, oh, there's no money. I want you to understand that the Sunday ticket contract that DirecTV is getting paid, it's been paying, and this is the last year of it. Their Sunday ticket was $900 million. Now, the Thursday night package alone, Amazon is paying $1.2 billion just for Thursday night. So think about Sunday ticket, which is covering everybody, how big that is. Thursday night football is $300 million more by itself. Somewhere over $3 billion is what the Sunday ticket's going to go. It's going to be a minimum of 3 times as much money. To put that in perspective, if it just goes for the $2 billion, that one deal is worth $22 million of cap room. That one deal. And trust me, every deal that they made on the television contract more than doubled. And you add into that the gambling, you add into that now they're trying to work with Germany and Mexico and all these places. There are estimates of the salary cap by 26 being over $400 million. It's not that there's no money there. That's the lies and the bullshit that Stephen Jones keeps trying to tell us for whatever reason. And you would think that, being the Dallas Cowboys, the most valuable franchise, that they would want to have the best of everything. When you go in the stadium and you spend, the $40 for the tour, and they tell you about this marble that was hand-picked, from Italy and shipped here, and you got the twin bars and stuff where you've got all the football lights and stuff in the ceiling. When they take care of all of these, little details right there, but then go through and on the football field, they manage it and they understand, look at this and say, oh, well, we can just take an undrafted rookie free agent and we can just throw them out there and be a starter and think that we're going to win. Something don't fit there. Yes, Stacy.
I wish that you would make a sign. You making all these plaques and things.
Yeah.
I would make one with the quote from Charles Haley that Jerry
built a house for losers.
And I wish you could hang that up. I wish that we could send it to the Joneses.
There you go.
We could.
You know what?
Beto.
I should do that on a shot glass too and send them to everybody.
Right.
Good.
Because it sure feels that way. It's just like, to be a Cowboy fan, to spend the money that we do, to reaping them boys and doing all the stuff that we do, you would think that they would take better care of us. We're the reason why they are worth what they're worth, but don't matter.
I love my Cowboys, but I hate the fact that we go.
You love your Cowboys, but you hate the front office. I agree with you on that.
I like with Cowboys, but I hate the fact that every Sunday we got hope to win again.
We are tremendously loyal. You're right about that. What will happen if Dallas goes 0-4 Good question.
What? Somebody get
Richie MC,
quiet.
200 people here, 50 to 100 are Eagle fans. You're right about that. I'm doing good, Mary.
Look, the Eagle.
Exactly, Vado. F the Eagles. It's Jobu's
Fuck
fault.
the
Of
Eagles.
course it is. Kellen Moore shaking my head. Well, we're about to get ready to get out of here because I've got a lot to do to get ready for tomorrow. Yes, we are still watching the games tomorrow. We're going to start out at 12:30, 12:45. We'll catch the Washington Commanders and the Giants games, and then we'll roll right into our game. Any final thoughts from everybody?
I just hope we win the ball.
I hope we
Mark.
run the ball too, Beto. I hope we run the ball too. Stacy.
I've got nothing. I'm just. I've got nothing. I'm done. For me. I can't.
Yeah, Rashid, are you coming over tomorrow, Rashid? Brian, Prime game time. You guys going on tonight?
Yeah, we're going on at 7:00.
Okay. All right, I'll try and slip on over there. By then. Got a couple things I got to take care of the course of the next
I don't
hour.
know what we'll talk about the game, and I was writing some things down. It was a long day, long weekend working, so
It's always
Came
a
home, took a
long
nap.
week when the
Yeah, I
Cowboys
know.
lose.
Yeah, it's rough. It is rough. Listen, I have hope. Let's just hope that. I've been shocked by this team before, so. I know they have a good defense. It's just, and I know they can move the ball, but just a tough spot. And I blame the guys up top. They just don't have the right vision for this team.
Nope.
They don't.
No.
Pete
It's a
Toilet?
shame
Is that
because
the
we're gonna
name
look
there?
back and we're gonna waste careers. We're gonna waste Zeke's career. We're gonna waste Dak's career. It's just.
Please don't say that.
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm hoping I see some of the other teams in our division lose tomorrow and Monday. That would take some of the pain away at least a little bit. Because I think more than anything else, being the only team that lost in our division and having not scored a touchdown, it's just like, damn.
I was in such a shock about how it happened. Honestly, that I was actually rooting for the Giants. I figured, let's get the, it was a close game. I was like, I like to see him win. And then we played, and we did not look good. And any, our defense looked our defense looked good, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was good. So I was just so shocked. It was one of those, I did not see that coming. I don't care. I know Dak got hurt, but Dak was in, most of the game, and he was a part of that. So.
Well, we kind of had the warning signs of it, but, and again, it may not be as bad, again.
It's never as bad, Mark, I don't think, and it's never as good. When we go and blow somebody out, you just got to check yourself a little bit, not to not enjoy it, but just know it's never as good as it is, and it's never as bad. So that's the encouraging thing, is that we're not as bad as our offense looked last week.
Well, we couldn't be any worse.
Enough to win. But is it good enough to win? Yeah, we're the only team in the NFL not to score a TD, so that's not good.
Well, and also, too, you were playing a good team.
Yeah, I know.
That's some bullshit.
But we couched it at the beginning of the game saying that we didn't think the Tampa was who they were last year. Because they've lost a lot of people on defense, too. Now, they're still very good, but are they that much better, or we just didn't play good, But when you have our coordinator running the same game plan from last year, and the players literally coming out, Devin White, and mimicking or mocking us, and basically saying, "Well, we knew what they were going to run because they know they had success last year." That's like lazy. That's lazy. Really, Kellen? That's lazy, man. You got to be better than that. You hear this that these coaches are. Working 10, 12 hours a day, and they're getting food delivered to the room, to their office because they're studying tape. What the hell are you doing?
Okay, if you were, then you're worse than my
Were you
dyslexia.
studying tape last year? What do you think they're not? It's always a punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. So this year, that's why it's always hard for a team to sweep another team, because usually when you lose, the other team they know what they need to do. It's hard to tell somebody who had success to say, listen, you might have to do it a little differently this time. They don't want to do that. They want to go, oh, we already did it once. That's why it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yep.
And
no, it's not. No, it's not. When you got somebody that don't know what they're doing, he looks at the play card. He confused because he don't know what he's doing. He can't read the plays at all. He needs to we just need a new OC because he ain't.
Well, yeah, we all know. Long time no see, Jessica. How are you
Have
doing?
you ever looked at his face, guys? The boy is so confused. Hey, Mark, I'm sorry. He's so
always
confused.
there with the playbook.
And he looking at the card like he don't know what to do. Do you see him frowning? Because he act like he as if he can't read the play calls. Like he don't know how to read the defense. You used to be a backup quarterback and you don't know how to read the defense? Something wrong with that.
When I look at Dan Quinn out
stubborn.
on the field.
He knows how to read a defense. He's just stubborn. He wants to do it his way.
No.
More than anything, I tell you what, more than anything
else. He ran
else.
the ball at a 5.2 yards, a clip.
That's how they know where we coming from.
He knew he could run the ball and be successful. He just was stubborn and didn't want to do it.
I agree.
That's why Cooper gone, because he called him out.
Yeah. Well,
that's right, my brother. He needs to go. He should have been gone. Like Cooper Rush need to go. I'm sorry. Cooper is not it.
Well, there's not a lot of options that are out there, to be quite honest.
But we got the guy. That little boy, that new kid, that was the rookie guy we got. Yes, boy threw a touchdown. That boy got us one on that board, and we was behind us winning. He's better than Rush. Rush been
at least
there all
he can
years.
run. At least he can run.
How many years Rush failed us whenever he had to come in as a backup?
Yep.
He just stand there and let people.
No, hold on. Cooper Rush has only started one game.
Excuse me?
He's only started one game, and he won that game.
He started one game, and he won it.
Yeah.
He done been out there many times in games when Dak got hurt. Oh yes, I'm not talking about with the Vikings. He stand there and let people sack him. In this last game, when Dak had to go out, what did he do? He failed us. He let them sack him.
I have to disagree with you. I don't care who you put out there last week. The way everything went down, he had no chance. Nobody had a chance last week with all the shit that happened.
Mark, at this point, when you're a QB, if you see that your OC is not helping you, when we're in the heat of a moment, when we need to get in that red zone, when we need to score, then it's time for me to say, hey, I can do these plays. Let me get together with the boys, the offense linemen, and let's come up with some plays and let's go score. This is what our young people need to do. Because if people is not going to help you, you got to learn how to help yourself. Because everybody ain't for you.
Well, I agree with that 100%.
Everybody is not for our Cowboys' success. They want to see them fail. Even half of these people in your chat, all they ever say is that our boys not gonna do nothing. And then when they fail, they got a lot to say. But they are the one. Words have power, Mark. You can speak death to someone, and to yourself when you constantly being negative. That's why I love being positive, and I try to encourage people to be positive. Think positive. Don't think negative.
Okay, back to Cooper Rush. He's only played in the game against the Vikings, where he had 422 yards, and then he had 64 yards, of course, this past week. Other than that, he played his last game he actually played in, had 3 attempts in 2017. So it's only been in
I think she's getting them confused with the guy who's not here anymore.
Yeah, Danucci.
Or Garrett Gilbert. But Gilbert actually won a game.
Gilbert.
Yeah,
remember Gilbert had that great game, but he lost it against Cleveland.
Yeah.
He actually played good, but they lost. Or no.
Cooper has been on the roster
Steelers.
since 2017, but he played.
It was a Steeler game.
He played in 2 games in 2017. Mop-up duty.
Yeah. And then we had
In
the
my eyes, every time
Chicago Bear coach.
he has been trash.
I'm just saying. Listen, hold on. I'm not sure you can say you had the second most he's played for the Cowboys in a game was actually last week in mop-up duty in a bad game that Dak looked bad too. So you can't look and say that one.
Dak was having complication for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, the whole team, the whole offense was. We had 10 penalties. We had wide receivers that couldn't get open. We had a coach who refused to run the football. Everything was the perfect storm. So I don't know that you can judge Dak Prescott's career on that game or Cooper Rush's because everything is bad. Now, again,
and that's
Jessica,
why I always speak up for him. But the way they always talk about his money. When
I know. Of course they do.
Had been playing on a rookie contract the whole time he was here. And it was not Dak's fault that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones then waited that long to pay this boy. It is the owner's fault. And they need to stop blaming Dak for the amount of money that they had to pay him. It was the amount of money that QBs are being paid.
I brought that up to start the show with Jessica. Anyway, we were going to kill the show at 6 because I've actually got things I have to do before 7.
Oh.
Okay, but no, I feel your pain. I'm not saying Cooper Rush is a good quarterback, but he started one game, and that was Minnesota. They did win that one. Other than that, he played.
Him to do good, Mark. I do.
The bullshit that we're getting from Jerry Jones that he's the same as Dak Prescott, with being Catboy, then why did you go ahead and just get rid of Dak then and say Cooper Rush is our starter in the same way that you figured we need to get rid of Cooper Rush if that's the way they believe? But be that as it may, the Joneses have screwed the pooch on the season.
Yeah,
and the play, if anything happens, it will be these players will suck it up and end up basically, and this is what I believe is going to happen, the players are going to end up sucking it up and end up doing well enough to make us at least a credible team by the end of the year, in which case everybody will forget about all this bullshit that the Joneses did and screwed it up. And in the end, it doesn't matter because the Joneses own the team. We can be mad as hell, but it doesn't matter what we think.
Like other owners and just sit up in the skybox and let the people that they hired do their job.
Yeah, but but here's the thing. They look at it and say, we're worth more money than anybody else by the way we're doing it. And so, you know what? we're the most talked about team. I don't see Stephen A. Smith flying any place else but to them Cowboys. And so we're doing the right thing. We are the reality show that they just can't get enough of, and I got all the money to prove it because I want me some glory holes. All right, so
if
good people.
Glory holes, he need to stay out the way, right, Mark?
Well, apparently, with that illegitimate child, maybe he's been hanging out and getting some glory holes with that cheap wine he gets at 7-Eleven. All right, good people. We'll be here tomorrow at 12:30, 12:45 to start our day-long live stream and stuff, and I've got work to do. There's Rock. How you doing, Rock?
Yeah, what's up? I do wanted to say something though.
Okay.
No, and I don't want people to take it the wrong way, but I've been watching for a couple of days the chat, and people have been deleting people's. I know they're talking crap about us, but let them talk all the crap they want. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of the show. Stop deleting their messages.
Yeah.
I ain't deleting nobody's messages. I block them.
No, it's not you. It's not you. They know who they are.
No. As long as they're not doing personal attacks or racist stuff like that.
As long as it's appropriate.
I only keep them from I don't want to see it, so I block it from my end, so I can't see them.
All right.
Everybody else can still see them. I'm not even a mod.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we will see you guys tomorrow. Right. And Vado says,
my hat,
fuck
haters.
the Eagles.
If you don't like the Cowboys, you ain't nothing.